So many of us right now are in a time of transition. We are in the middle of a really massive, pivotal point in the collective, the globe, but also within ourselves. And when we are in and experiencing this transition, it's a really, really tough move to go from one thing to another. And during that leap, really that leap of faith, there's a lot of suffering involved. There's a lot of lacking that comes into play. And so today in particular, we are going to be talking about manifestation. And not just any manifestation, but the one and only key that you need to know in order to move from a place of lack into a place of success and abundance. So let's get into it. Let's talk about this. I do want to mention before I get into it, last week I was shadow banned on YouTube for talking about technology and AI and the fact that technology is spying on us, but it's not because we can consciously communicate rapidly through technology. It was really bizarre. So I just want to say that if you are actually watching this video, you have surpassed that weird shadow banning. So please be sure to subscribe or like this video or kick up the algorithm again or hit the bell for notifications or just go over to my website so that you never miss another video. Last week was really weird. So if you missed that video, which you most likely did because it wasn't promoted to you, please go check it out. It's called Is Big Tech Spying on Us? All right, cool. So once again, so many people are at this place of where do I go next? How do I get there? I want to make a big move. I want to step into my mission, but I can't because I don't deserve it or I'm not abundant enough to make that move, right? I mean, especially with inflation, it's hard to just buy your groceries, let alone make a pivot in your career or your mission or even your family or your friends. So I'm going to give you the courage today to do so, once again, through this one and only tip. Now, first of all, let's talk about why you are struggling, why you are suffering to manifest, and what is the number one thing that's actually holding you back from manifestation. The word is attachment, okay? Now, I'm going to give you two analogies here, and I hope that these analogies stick in your mind so that the next time you want to create and manifest something, you remember them and you stop yourself and you do something different. So, the first analogy is it's not really an analogy, I guess. It's more so imagine yourself as this hand, and whatever you want is this hand. And as you chase after the thing that you want, it actually moves away just as fast as you want to bring it in. When we chase after things, those things will repel energetically from our life. So, chasing after something, pursuing something, getting attached to something is definitely not the way to go about doing it. And we're going to talk about why that is. But I'm going to move on to my next sort of, I guess, a better analogy. And I've said this before many years ago, and someone actually recently brought this analogy up, and it must have really stuck with him. So the analogy is with sand, okay? So imagine you have your hand outstretched like this, and sand is pouring into your hand. It's piling up, it's heaping over, it's spilling out. That sand represents abundance, finances, opportunities, friends, whatever that thing is that you're pursuing. And as you feel the attachment to the thing that you're bringing into your life, you start to close your hand. You start to attach, you start to connect, you start to hang on to the thing that you think that you want the most. But by doing so, you not only stop the flow of abundance, stop the flow of sand coming into your hand, but you actually end up letting go of a lot of that abundance as you grip more and more tightly onto that sand. Okay? And that's definitely not my own analogy. I'm sure it's some sort of rooted in some sort of ancient Buddhist thing or not. But it is such an important analogy when we talk about manifestation and abundance. Okay. It's important to know that we cannot attach. I'm not sure if you hear Bodhi screaming. We cannot attach to the things that we want because it will, in retrospect, do the opposite, okay, of what it is that we want. Why is this, right? Attachment is a low vibrational energy. Anything that we want, anything we desire, anything that we are attaching ourselves to is immediately put into a low frequency. We cannot manifest abundance or opportunity through a low vibrational frequency. We can't. All right. A really good example of this is our money, our monetary system. So, our individual concept of money was formed in childhood. So think back right now to your own childhood. Think about your mom or your dad or your grandparent or your primary caregiver. What was the energy of money back when you were a child? Because most likely, whatever that energy was back in childhood, it's actually followed you into your adulthood. And most likely, that energy of money is a traumatic energy. So when you think about a $100 bill, just picturing that in your mind, you might immediately have a framework of, I can't obtain that, or that's too much money, or I don't deserve that, or if I have that, I'm just going to spend it because I have it. And so, what we need to do is we need to break free of these old traumatic financial habits from childhood. And one of the fastest and easiest ways to do that is to actually let go of the need and desire for financial abundance in general. As we let go of the desire and the need and the attachment to financial abundance, we bring more in. When you stop chasing it, it comes to you. But it only comes to you if you do this one thing, okay? And I could talk all day about the law of attraction and focusing on what you want. And we all know that your focus brings in, right? Whatever you focus on, you create in your reality. However, the caveat to that is if you focus on something in the energy of attachment or a lower frequency or trauma without realizing it, you're never actually going to obtain the thing, no matter how hard you focus on it, because your focus will always be in a lower frequency. All right, so what do we do instead? Here it is. Here's the one thing. That's it. It's really exciting. You need to become, okay, sorry. I have to say this properly. You become abundant by exuding it. And what a great term. So yeah, we got to let it go first. Let go of the attachment, let go of the low vibration, let go of all of the trauma. You got to do that. And I'm sure you're well on your way. But you bring in abundance by becoming it. When you become abundant, you exude it. When you exude abundance, you bring it in. It chases you. It calls you. So how then? How do we become abundant by exuding it? That sounds like a bunch of quackery. I get it. So let's talk about it. Remember that, I'm just going to read my notes here for a second. Remember that not having is only a state of mind. And I'm going to repeat that. Remember that not having is only a state of mind. If you tell yourself often, I can't have that, I can't afford that, I'm not abundant enough, I'm always needing more, I'm always needing more food, more love, more recognition, more opportunities, more money. And look, I get it, right? We could all always use more. But also think about some of the wealthiest people in society. They're constantly on a mission for more. Therefore, they're constantly in a state of lack, even those who have a lot. So let's reframe your thinking here for a second. And let's reframe your thinking by understanding that if you're watching this video right now, if you have the privilege to watch this video right now in this moment, it automatically means a couple of things. It means that you have access to free information. Wow. It means that you have access to an internet connection. Wow. It means that you have access to a device to hop on the internet to watch this video. Wow, that's pretty abundant. It means that you have the time to spare to watch this video. And it also means that you have the energy to actually just sit and contemplate things. This is not a comedy. This is not a video for entertainment. This is a video for you to work on yourself, which means that you got to show up with the energy ready to take it in. So if you have the energy to take it in, it means that you've got quite a lot of tools at your disposal. If you're watching this right now, whether you're live or not, it means that you have access to abundance, to opportunity that a lot of the world doesn't have access to. I've said it before, but I'll say it again. Clean drinking water, access to food. Yeah, it's way overpriced, but access to food, access to a car or transportation, or even a ride-sharing program like a bus or a train. That's pretty incredible. Access to neighbors or friends or family members, healthy ones anyway. That's pretty incredible. In order to exude abundance, you need to start reframing your reality by taking a look at your life and asking yourself, in what areas of my life am I abundant? And start focusing on that. You already have enough. And when you can be grateful and appreciative of what you do have, you start emanating, exuding abundance. Instead of saying, I need, I want, and constantly being in lack, I am, I have. And when you're in that state of frequency, what you do is you attract, you bring it in, you become. And you're constantly in a state of abundance. And yeah, I mean, the turnaround time, it doesn't happen right away. You can't be like, okay, EA, I'm abundant. Where's my promotion? It doesn't happen that quickly, but I promise you that it happens. When I started my psychic business, okay, and I was doing one-on-one clients and put myself on Craigslist and Kijiji, and I would take any client who was just willing to sit with me as I'm sweating and focusing and concentrating and feeling unworthy. I would write down their first and last name after, and maybe it was just a free session. Maybe it was $20 that they gave me, or whatever they could afford. I would write down that person's name, that whatever that energy exchange was, that $20, I would sit there and I would say, thank you so much, Sandra, for coming into my life, for believing in my mission, for being here. Thank you for the money, the energy exchange of the money, and valuing what I have to give. Even though, no, it wasn't enough to live off of. That's why I had 2 other part-time jobs while I was, double majoring in university and starting this business on the side. But guess what? When I did have free time, I would make it my full-time job to appreciate what I had. And upon appreciating, I started to exude. And upon exuding, I started to double, triple my clientele, double, triple my price point, because I started valuing who I was as well. And that energy exchange. The point is that I focused on what I had. I focused on abundance. I focused on becoming, on being, that state of being. It's not about wanting or needing, because those energies are outside of yourself. It's about becoming abundant, and not even becoming abundant. It's about knowing that you already are abundant. That flower blooming, or that cool breeze on your face, or that dip in a bathtub, or the walk in the woods, or the email that you got, whatever it is. Focus on what you do have, and I guarantee you, your opportunities, your financial state, whatever you're focusing on as a state of abundance, It's going to multiply. So stop chasing money. Let go of attachment. Heal your childhood traumas and become abundant by knowing that you already have everything you need. Enter into the state of abundance. And if you're interested in more content and you really like these, I have so many manifestation videos, abundance, money videos on my website. You can watch some for free and some as a member. And then I also have a manifestation workshop as well. If you want more of a deep dive workshop style, hour-and-a-half vibe, that's also on my website. And then this coming Wednesday, I am so freaking pumped. We've got season 2024, episode 9 of the Galactic Federation. First time ever that I'm doing this. I'm fully embracing and stepping into my divine femininity because I'm showing up, I'm remote viewing them with having 0 questions. So I'm going to interview a series of interdimensional beings and ask, all right, what is the number one thing that you need humanity to know right now? So it's going to be a completely unfiltered, uncensored, open dialogue with interdimensional beings asking about humanity and humans. And wow, it's going to be an hour-and-a-half. I had to stretch it out because I wanted the time to sit with each of these beings. I am beyond excited. So please join me live on Wednesday, September 11th, or join me after for the recording to check it out, get all the downloads, and really feel aligned to where we're at right now. You are not alone. You are not suffering in silence. We are absolutely here with you. And this is the time to realize who you are, step into that mission, take action, and finally embrace the abundance that's always been around you. That's all for me. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. I will see all of you in the 5th dimension frequency.